Hello, hello, hello. I just want to see if this will work. Brecken sent me another clip. I haven't even had a chance to get it. I've been fighting with the internet all day. I don't know. I don't even know if you guys can hear me. I'm going to pretend you can and carry on.
Million Mahari versus Josue Velasquez Estrada. We have someone here on behalf of Mahari.
Am I able to be dismissed since my case was dismissed?
Mr. Roman, yes, if you were here for 1824, we just heard the plaintiff indicate they wish to non-suit. You are all free to go. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Enjoy your day.
Thank you very much, sir. All right. Now for 25-1842, do I have someone here on behalf of Million Mahari?
Hi, Your Honor. I'm present. A million.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being with us. And do I have anyone present on behalf of Josue Velasquez Estrada?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Good afternoon to you both. All right. Mr. Mahari, tell me why this eviction was filed.
Due to non-payment.
On payment. All right. Is there a written lease between the parties?
Yes.
How much under the lease is the monthly rent?
$27.50.
Is that due every month?
Correct.
All right. Is there any portion of that that's subsidized directly to you by the government?
No.
What months of rent remain unpaid?
A portion of December and January.
How much is still owed for December?
For December, 1828 is still remaining.
1828 for December, and then
$27.50 for January.
All right. Does your property fall under the Federal CARES Act?
I don't believe so.
When did you give the notice to vacate?
8th of December.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Estrada.
Hi.
Thanks for being here. Mr. Mahari says that he had a lease with you and that the case is being filed about non-payment, which is the most common reason I hear these things. It's no fun. I recognize non-payment matters, but it's, better than other types of allegations. That's just how I bet. All right. Is it correct that the monthly rent's $27.50?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And then he says there's a balance remaining from December and that January's not been paid yet. Is that also correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, with that information, landlord wins the case today. What I do is give you final numbers and then timelines. But immediately, any questions you already know you want to ask me or any information you wanted to give me?
So the eviction is filed for unpaid December rent, but I wanted to dispute that because on December 1st, I had paid $922, which is what was already discussed between me and the two other parties that are on the lease, that I make my portion separately. So he had acknowledged and accepted that payment in writing whenever I had sent it to him. So there wasn't any rejection, and I didn't have any notice that the amount was insufficient before a notice to vacate was issued. So because I am on a joint lease with two other parties, Manny and Sarah, they had later abandoned the property, but the lease was never amended, and I wasn't served with like a new written demand stating that I was now solely responsible for the full amount before the eviction proceedings had began. So before like any formal notice, the landlord had asked me to voluntarily vacate, which was based on
What a mess. I mean, like, I get it. He's paying what he signed on for, but that's not the whole rent.
Verified allegations from my roommates. So it wasn't for non-payment. And then it was only after that, when I didn't leave, the landlord filed for an eviction and labeled it as quote unquote unpaid December rent, even though payment had been made and accepted. So I just wanted to say that.
Okay. All right. Let me get some information.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Estrada, you're on a lease, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Does the lease list you and other people?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are they still tenants?
No, they had abandoned the lease.
All right. Why are they not a part of this lawsuit?
I don't know. I don't know why it's just me.
I'm asking Mr. Mahari. If you have 3 tenants on the lease, why you're only evicted 1? Can't those 2 still come back in?
No, they cannot. They voluntarily vacated the premises.
I'm not your lawyer, but I definitely. Anyway. All right. Does the lease require that all 3 be joined severally liable?
Yes.
At any point, did you in writing agree to accept less rent from the defendant?
So there was an ongoing altercation where Joshua wasn't making his portion of payment, and it was more to avoid the other tenants getting penalized because it was, 2 months of him not paying on time or not paying at all where they had to cover him. And so it was more of a, they were paying through rent spree. And I just basically broke it down of saying, hey, just so you guys can avoid this altercation and you guys can stay together, I'm happy to take separate payments from Joshua, and you guys just make that payment on your own. Now, there was nothing, we didn't make any edits into the agreement or anything like that. We're just more to, get in the way and avoid any further altercations between the tenants, and to make it easier on the other tenants that were paying on time every month.
Here's my question. Mr. Mahari, did you allow 3 defendants to pay you 3 separate ways for the one rent?
No,
Okay, but you let the defendant here today, Mr. Estrada, pay separately
for the month of December.
for the month of December. And that's why there's a partial payment.
Correct.
But you did not require the other 2 people on the lease to pay that rent?
I did require that.
So why are you suing him for that if they paid?
One, it's a joint payment that's supposed to be made.
Exactly. That's what I'm asking. If it's a joint and several lease, you can't pick and choose to just sue him for the remainder. So why are they not all 3 here?
Right. So I did serve them to vacate because of non-payment, and they decided
I'm not talking about the eviction.
Uh-huh.
They're not here in the eviction that you filed when you got a lease that says all 3 of their names on it, right?
Right.
Okay, I'm looking at your lease. It's got all 3 of them. He's listed twice. So if you only got paid 1/3 of the lease, why are you only suing him?
Because he's the only one that's still in the property.
That's not how that works, Mr. Mahari. Did you allow the other 2 to vacate?
I did.
Then I don't see that he owes you any rent for that month. He's still there for January. Have you paid anything for January, Mr. Estrada?
No, ma'am. I was waiting until all of this had rolled out before I gave any amount.
All right. Well, you got to pay for January. You've already missed your rent on that one. But you tried a notice because you didn't pay the full month of December. But in December, you agreed to accept less. You only wanted him to pay, and he paid. You didn't make the other 2 people pay, correct?
No, I asked them to. They didn't.
But you're not evicting them.
I did evict them.
You're not a part of the lawsuit.
I didn't understand that I had to also include them into the hearing if they already vacated the premises.
All right. You want the remainder of December, and you want prorated for January.
I'm just asking for my property back, Your Honor.
I understand that. I understand that. Well, for January, I get $88.70 a day, right? If I take the $27.50 and I divide it into 31, I'm getting $88.70 a day. And so December he paid. You didn't demand that the other 2 pay because they left. You called it a day on that one, but he's still there for January. Does he become responsible? Yeah, under the lease he would be. All right. So for 88 and 70, today is the 13th, 1153. So when I look at your notice to him, the notice is to all 3.
Correct.
And this is the notice you put on the door?
Correct.
Is that the only way you gave it to them?
Yes.
Did you do any research on how to serve a notice to vacate as the landlord before you served it?
I did.
And did it explain to you what to do if you're going to do it on the door like that?
Well, I'm not currently resident of Austin, and so I had someone knock on the door to hand it over, but they weren't there.
Yeah, and so that person put it on the door in that envelope you sent me a photo of?
Right. And there was also an email.
Email doesn't count under Texas law until this
Right.
year, and you're following under the old rules. So here's issues, y'all. And I'm going to point out some things. When I look at what you sent me as your evidence, your notice to vacate was served wrong. You can't do it that way. I'm looking at the envelope. Y'all took a photo, and I like that. Unfortunately, took a photo of the fact that he didn't write in important documents. Now, I understand that people think that's a tricky rule, but it's very clearly delineated in the property code, and it doesn't change until January of this year. And you filed your case in December, so you're stuck under the old rules. Okay, Mr. Mahari? So there's an issue with your notice. I see that immediately, and I'm just looking at it right now. Defendant's not really arguing about that. His position, though, is that he thought he was paid in full. And in fact, his response is, I'm only paying $890 for the agreed amount previously. And then you accepted that, but your notice to him says that you still owe me the rent. I don't think that that's true versus what I've heard today.
So there were multiple attempts of me reaching out and to inform him of that. There was no communication on his end. But I understand what you're saying.
The notice you gave him even if I ignore the defects in how it was served, right? We look at that. We look at the substance of it. The notice itself says you're behind on the rent for the amount of $18.28. And that notice is to him, Lambert, and Valdez.
Correct.
So they're not here, despite being a part of the lease and being a part of the notice. And he paid his portion, which you testified, and he said y'all agreed he could just pay his portion. So is he really in violation with that notice? You're in violation due to non-payment. I mean, that's true. They had not paid it. Had you waived that? But then no one paid anything for January.
No. The other two tenants, once
Oh, I got messed up with computer issues. But happy birthday, Biggin. Everybody give Biggin a happy birthday. I don't know that he's here. There he is. There's the birthday boy. He's in chat. I wanted to mess up his stream with it, but too late.
I provided the eviction notice, they did
They
leave
moved.
they moved it.
They vacated. Let me take that under advisement. All right, meaning I can't give y'all an answer right now. I want to look a little bit more about that one. Because
I like her. This is weird, and I've been holding back because the results are not exactly what I would expect. I would think that he's screwed, and if he's on the lease, then he has to pay the whole amount, which I don't think is fair, but I think that's generally the rule. She's very confidently going the other direction, and I think, okay, I don't know that for sure, not even here, but I certainly don't know how they do it in Texas. You could have a convention either way, and it sort of depends on very specific facts, like how is the lease drafted and all this sort of thing. But I feel bad actually I feel bad for both of them. The guy got in on a lease, and he's willing to pay his portion, but not more, and that's a rational position. The other guy is saying, look, I've got a property, I've got a mortgage, I just want the rent that I contracted for. I get it. And then the real culprits have left town. Namely, the two tenants that walked on a lease.
I'll give y'all an answer within 24 hours, okay? I will email you a copy of the order from the court. As a result of me taking more time to give you a decision, your appeal deadline will not start running until I have issued a decision. So if I give you an answer tomorrow, your appeal time starts the day after that. You do not include the date on which I actually signed the paperwork. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay, so just for both parties, be aware of that. When I give you my order for both parties, I will put down an appeal bond on it. I want to check a little bit about, is that notice still sufficient? All right. Any questions, Mr. Mahari or Mr. Estrada?
Okay, so she's fussing about the notice, which I definitely wouldn't know because that gets very, very particular. Literally, you can go from one town to the next, or just a slight variation in the lease, and it gets very particular on what's going on with notice. And then she's got, and then we've got the issue of joint and several liability on the lease.
Estrada.
I did want to say that, like, I like this whole situation, the way that like my roommates had like abandoned the lease and stuff. I had like suffered like job loss, and it wasn't even that I had like ever refused to pay because I had paid. It was just like later on after I was coming up with alternate forms of income. The second time that I have been late on my payment to them when they had to cover me was a pause for like my unemployment and stuff, but I have never to do so. I just wanted that to be known, but I just didn't feel like this situation has been very fair in my sense because
Mr. Estrada, I don't find that it's often ever fair. The law is not really about being fair, right? I mean, Mr. Mahari's point is that if he would moved out with the other two, we wouldn't even be here. He wants his land back.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
The eviction is wholly about property. Most landlords throw the case out and don't even pursue the money once they get back their land. You're still in possession.
Yes, ma'am. It's because I'm a contract until July, so I haven't made arrangements to do so. Like, I don't have family or like resources.
I appreciate that. All right. Case is under advisement. I will issue y'all a ruling within 24 hours.
You got it. Thank you.
All parties are excused. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Then we're going to be caused 20.
Oh, good Lord, that's ugly. He just wants him out, which makes sense, but he may or may not have screwed up the notice. and I certainly am not going to weigh in on it. If it confuses Judge Holmes, who does that all day, it confuses me. Not confuses me, but it makes me think. I would do the same thing she's doing. I would look it up and be careful and apply the facts very carefully before I made a decision.
51837. El Pradau versus Brittany Smith, George Jr., and others. On behalf of El Pradau.
Nationwide.
And do I have someone here for our first defendant? Do we have someone for Brittany Smith? I see a Lauren Smith. If you happen to be Brittany Smith, please unmute and announce present. How about, do we have anyone here for George Ellison Jr.?
No, it's just me, Your Honor.
Okay, you're Mr.
It's
Ellison.
just me.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ellison. Thank you for being here. Ms. Carcos, to you as well. All right, please tell me the information for this one, Ms. Carcos.
This is failure to pay rent. Rent is $10.99 a month. He owes November, December, and the prorated $58.87.
It
And
broke
back
up right in the middle of your recitation, Ms. Carcos. I heard November through 4, and then it paused. So what's the with proration, what's the total?
The proration is $2,658.87.
All right, CARES property?
It is the notice to vacate. There's a 30-day notice to vacate given on November 13th. There's no subsidies. We're seeking back rent, court costs, and possession.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ellison. Thank you for your patience with us today.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome, man. Go ahead.
All right, Ms. Carcos is here. She works on behalf of a company called Nationwide, and your landlord, El Pradau, and many others employ her to come to court for them. So if you've never seen her or heard her name, that's why. But Ms. Carcos got information from the landlord, and they said the case is non-payment. So she said rent is $10.99 a month, and then it remains unpaid since November. Is that all correct, Mr. Ellison?
First of all, man, that is not correct because we paid following 1,105, which was 1,105. Somehow the landlord was. I have a lot. I mean, I already took my notes. I'm getting my child right now, but I can't say.
We paid for Halloween. I'm already finding all this very suspect.
Pertinent other stuff that needs to be addressed.
Mr. Ellison,
For
you can
what?
win your case very, very quickly with me. This is not a big cost. Did you pay rent of the amount you're owing in the month of November? Did you pay your rent in full? Yes or no?
No, not for November, but only it was October.
I'm asking
It was-
about November because we're not here about anything. November, December, and January. Did you
Yeah, so far you're saying the same thing that the landlord's saying.
pay your rent in full in November?
No, ma'am. I had
Okay.
someone that I was already getting rental assistance that I was getting blocked it from, and I have my notes right here that I wrote. That I'm trying to specifically tell y'all because that's what prohibited me because I.
Prohibit. I can't remember them all. He was specifically trying to tell him that it prohibited him. Sweet Jesus. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Just you're evicted and straight to conjugation camp and grammar school.
I never go without paying my rent. I've been 2 years of paying rent. Matter of fact,
All right.
I've been investigating. I've been
Mr. Ellison, you're beginning to yell at me. And
I've been investment
not
in real
against
estate.
you.
Period. If
Mr. Ellison, you're yelling at me.
No, I'm just
please.
saying.
Mr. Ellison,
No, I'm not.
you're being disrespectful, and I want to hear what you have to tell me.
Ma'am, you're not understanding. The landlord put my family in a hardship. Okay, I have children who are autistic. Okay, so one child that's waiting to go to school, the other child at school. But it somehow, when I have a job to go around their schedule, it's be convicted with their situation. So it causes a hardship at my doorstep. Not to mention the harassment, the retaliation, the damage in my vehicles.
Mr. Ellison, I'm had to mute you. You're not related to what I'm here for. I want to know if you didn't pay November's rent, if there's a reason.
It causing a hardship at my doorstep. Oh, I can't even. There was so much in there. It was thick with error.
And you weren't able to pay sufficient for you to have a legal defense. That's all I want to know. Mr. Ellison, you can unmute yourself now, but please remember we're here for a very specific issue.
Okay, just a second. Now, the reason why I wasn't able to pay is because my children's situation. Their stuff are severe. Okay, you have to have a caregiver.
I
Okay,
understand that, sir.
know, stuff like that. As an employment, you going around their schedule.
All right.
Somehow, it causes a conflict. It wasn't aware I wasn't able to pay my rent because I get out here and pay my rent. As a kid, I always get up and make sure.
You should have mentioned earlier that it causes a conflict, because that clarifies the whole situation right there.
As a young child, I had possibilities as a man, either get a job trade or get a job. So I know how to get out here and make bills and make sure all my bills is paid. Somehow it's the mess that's going around that conflicts at my doorstep that stopped me from paying my rent. And then when I heard one of them say, "Oh, you forgot to pay your rent," I'm like, I'm never late to pay my rent. Every time when I get paid, I always make sure my rent is paid. I gave them within a year or two of rent investments. So somehow we all hit rock bottom, and I ain't gonna lie about it. We all hit rock bottom. Whether it's a financial, it's a loss, or it's a job, or it's someone that terminated you for the skin of your color or discriminating. So we all hit rock bottom. I'm just gonna be honest. But it's.
Do I hit rock bottom? Does Biggin hit rock bottom? I want to know. Do we all hit rock bottom? Because I feel like I've hit rock bottom right now. He might be right. I think I have. I think I'm currently in the process of hitting rock bottom as he speaks.
It's always a way to get back up and get back on your feet and get out here and get something going. There's no excuses of not trying to make sure that you're able to pay my rent. Now, I'm just waiting on inheritance because otherwise I could pay my rent. I could knock that rent.
He's waiting for someone to die and then he can pay his rent. And he'd appreciate it if everyone could just be patient until that happens. Oh my God.
You know, that's all I'm saying. But it's the
judgment for the plaintiff, $2,658 in back rent. Either party can appeal. You have 5 days to appeal. Appeal bond will be $1,099, equal to 1 month of rent. All parties are excused. Thank you very much.
Your Honor, what was that number again? I'm sorry.
$2,658.
Wait. What did you say,
ma'am? The appeal bond is $1,099, equal to 1 month of rent. Yes, Mr. Ellison, the judgment.
What did you just say?
I'm trying to repeat myself, Mr. Ellison. The judgment is $2,658. That's back rent plus cost of court. Either party can appeal. We'll put the appeal bond equal to 1 month of rent, $1,099. We're going to email you information to both parties about your appeal deadlines and your appeal rights. We're going to send you that via email so you get it quickly. We'll also mail it to you. All right. All parties are excused.
Oh, good Lord. Oh my. I don't even know if this thing's working. The first case was interesting, but I thought, oh my God, both of the litigants make sense. I understand their positions. They're both rational. We have a little dispute that's understandable why everybody's here. This does not belong on Law Talk with Mike. Brecken, what are you doing to me? That's what I thought from the first case. I was thinking, you know, we specialize in people acting like crazy lunatics on this channel. And oh, did she come through in the second half? I'm gonna have to watch that entire thing again, because I need to make notes on the malapropisms. It was dense. Lots of fun. All right, I'm on my backup computer, on my backup internet option. It's still slow. I don't know. Was this like choppy or anything, or did this actually work? I don't know. The comments seem to be responding to the video. I'm trying to read them now. It worked. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank y'all for coming out. The test stream was a success. Hopefully I can get back to my usual setup, but I don't know. I need the internet gods to straighten things out first. Thanks for coming out. I'll see you soon.